Hello, this is Lisa Friedrichsen, your professor from Johnson County Community College, and the subject of today's short screencast is errors in your CSS cascading style sheet file that will not be found by the validator. First of all, as you know by now, all of my YouTubes are listed at students.jccc.edu/Lisa L. Fry. That's my index homepage. I'm updating these constantly. Here's the style sheet for this page. It's very small. Most of your errors on your style sheet will be found by your validator. For example, if you forget the pound sign before your color number, or if you put a space between a number and a percent sign, or if you switch the colon and semicolon, or if you forget an opening or closing curly brace, all of those things will be found by the validator. But there are some things to be aware of that the validator will not find. People tend to get classes and IDs mixed up in the style sheet. IDs are indicated with the pound sign. So ID equals outer wrapper equals ID equals outer wrapper. The selector starts with the pound sign. For the class no num or the class horizontal, the selector starts with a period. And the way I remember that is just by remembering class period can have many students, so a class name can be given to many elements, and here's class period, and a unique ID is often a unique number, and to me that's the number sign. So that's a very common problem that the validator will not find, because the validator does not look into your HTML to make sure that outer wrapper is an ID and horizontal, no num, and coming soon are class names. It does not look at your HTML file, so it cannot know if those are entered correctly or spelled correctly. Secondly, the CSS validator cannot know if your property values are correct. Should the width of your outer wrapper be 80% or would a better number be 90%? The validator can't know that. So if you make mistakes in your property values, the validator will not be able to read or think about the logic of that value. So be very careful when you put in your property values. By the way, if the red, green, blue values are the same, you can shorten that with just 3 Fs. And it doesn't matter if they're uppercase or lowercase. It's probably best to stay consistent in your style sheet. So you can shorten it ever so slightly by using 3 zeros for all black and 3 Fs for all white. Another error that the validator would not be able to find is if you have conflicting rules. So on this class, I've colored it black, but if I color it blue, let's see, that'd be red, green, blue, the validator would see both of those rules as correctly written rules and would not flag you that you've got a problem. The last rule in this case is going to win. So this rule would just simply be overridden. Sometimes the order of your styles does matter. For example, the order of pseudo classes that are commonly used on an A tag on a hyperlink must be in this order. And they're usually written like this. You can style a hyperlink 4 different ways with 4 different pseudo classes depending upon if it has been clicked or visited, whether you're hovering over it or whether you're in the process of clicking it. But if you use these pseudo classes, they must be in this order. And the way we remember that is with the acronym Lovehate, L-V-H-A, Lovehate. Actually, the visited pseudo class does not work in all browsers. That's just a little issue to be aware of as well. This screencast is just to let you know that here's a known issue where the order of your selectors matters. For the most part, however, the order of your selectors does not matter. The way you want to enter your rules is in a logical way, because disorganization is going to be your biggest enemy. You'll want to organize your selectors in a top-down and grouped approach. So for example, I put the body selectors first, outer wrapper, which comes right after that second, and then I have 3 classes. So this is a very small style sheet. Lots of times you'll have comments throughout the style sheet that identify the next section. Here are my table styles. Here are my form styles. Here are my heading styles, just to organize your style sheet. So that's the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself, is organize your style sheet, use comments, make sure your selector and the opening curly brace are on its own line, that each declaration is on its own line so that you can quickly and easily see the property, colon, property value, and semicolon for each rule, and that you use the validator to validate the CSS. That will get you a long way toward having a productive styling session. Thank you.